that's the dream scenario for the NBA. It's an awesome scenario if it plays out that way for the NBA. The way it was playing out at 3-1, heading back to Golden State off of a blowout in Cleveland, was, not good for business for anybody except for, Golden State Warrior fans. So the timing of the incident and suspension on Draymond Green couldn't have worked out any better for the league from a business standpoint. And make no mistake about it, as much as if you've been listening to the show, I can't stand Draymond Green as a person. He is an exceptional basketball player that any player, coach, or fan would like to have on their team as one of their guys. And he is without question the most valuable player to the success of that team. It is not Steph Curry. That's right, I said it. The first ever unanimous MVP of the NBA, which Steph Curry was this year, is not even the MVP of his own team. That is Draymond Green. Draymond Green determines wins and losses on that Golden State Warriors team more than Steph Curry does, because he impacts the game in more ways. If you don't believe me, look up their respective plus-minus statistics sometime on your own time, and you'll find out that I am, in fact, vindicated. So, now, that being said, in regards to the Game 5, there were a few other factors that played big into the outcome, and could play possibly big moving forward. The one that played big in the outcome was the historic first-time ever performance put on by Kyrie Irving and LeBron James from the Cavaliers. They both scored 41 points each in the game. That is the first time in NBA Finals history that a pair of teammates has scored 40 points or more in the same game. And not only that, but another statistic I saw that was amazing was Kyrie and LeBron, who we know scored 82 points on their own, they scored or assisted on 97 points, the two of them combined, in the game. The Golden State Warriors as an entire team scored 97 points. So, I mean, one other player on the team, on the Cavs, had to be responsible for one bucket on their own or to somebody else that's not named Kyrie or LeBron for them to win the game. Those two dominated and took over in a epically, historically huge way. So, how much of that was the absence of Draymond Green on defense? That's, it's hard to really say accurately, but I can guarantee you that some of that was the result of Draymond Green not being on the court playing defense for the Golden State Warriors. He is the quarterback for them on defense. Also in that game, a big development that could prove to, at least if nothing else, send it to Game 7. Or possibly swing it in the favor of the Cavs. You never know. He is a key component to their team. Technically, he's their starting center. Technically, although they change their lineup and have a lot of different ways they can go. They can go big, they can go small, whatever. Referring to the Golden State Warriors. But they lost their starting center out for the rest of the playoffs, Andrew Bogut, with a knee injury in Game 5 as well. So you gotta think that, again, it's gonna force the matchups and the game plays that they have to run both offensively and defensively. They're not gonna have the options to adapt and counter that they're accustomed to. It's gonna mess with the substitutions and the rotations and just a little bit of that lineup chemistry possibly for the Warriors as well. And like I said, you never want to lose anybody, but somebody that's a regular part of your formula for success, whether he's the 35% of it or whether he's 5% of it. If he's always in the successful formula. You don't want to lose a piece like that ever. So don't be surprised if, at least here in Game 6 in Cleveland, if they attack the basket a lot, looking to score inside for the vast majority of that game, and then when Golden State starts doubling and collapsing and helping with the defense, then look for them to kick the ball outside to the J.R. Smiths and whoever's Dellavedovas whatnot on that team, and look for the outside game to happen from there. But I don't see any reason why in this Game 6 that shouldn't and won't happen here. Now, I'm not saying they can impose that will in Game 7 in Golden State, but anything can happen in a Game 7, and I do not believe that the Golden State Warriors are an inevitability to still win this series. I very much believe that it is possible, not likely, but possible, and reasonably possible, I should say, that the Cavs could come back and win it all. It's not like they were down 0-3 and are winning 4 straight. Like, teams win. Plus, it's the NBA. Teams win 3 straight games all the freaking time. It's just, in the season, it's just usually not. It's never against the same opponent. But the other couple notes I want to make from Game 5 here, and how they might influence things moving forward as well, and move on with other topics, is both on the Golden State, one on the Golden State Warriors side and one on the Cavaliers side. Let's start on the Cavaliers side, and as I've been saying, and I was justified, I was proven right, as usual, not as always, but as usual, the Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 5 utilized Kevin Love, had him on the court way less than what you expect the third big, the number 3 guy in your big 3, and your lone, big man of 6'10" or, however tall K-Love is, to have him not playing significant minutes throughout the game, and to look at his stat line, he only had 4 points, 2 rebounds. He did nothing for the team the whole time, and it worked better for them matchup-wise. Granted, again, Draymond Green was out, but I've said it time and time again. This team with Kevin Love in the lineup isn't necessarily a better team in every game or in every matchup or in every series without him. But for some reason, this is the second year in a row that we've seen that the Cleveland Cavaliers have a better chance of beating the Golden State Warriors in a 7-game series when Kevin Love is not a part of it. That matchup works out in the favor of the Cavaliers. And if the Cavaliers do not come back and win the title this year, I would be absolutely shocked and stunned if they do not look to trade Kevin Love. How could you not trade him with how much he's getting paid and how much evidence there is to support that he's holding you back from winning the title? And let's face it, anything other than the championship in that town for that team is a failure every season that LeBron is there until they get one, period. So if, I don't see how, if the Cavs lose, the finals again this year, that Kevin Love stays on that team. They gotta look to trade him, whether it be, draft day timing with a pick, or I would think it would be more with someone who's established but a veteran of some kind, and likely a front court player as well. Let's see who would be, not like a Dirk Nowitzki, not like a Pau Gasol, but you get the idea, like a Kevin Durant, basically, like an Anthony Davis. There you go, something like that. So that will be interesting to see how that plays out. I think if, like I said, I think if they lose, he's got to be gone unless he has a really good game here in Game 6 or Game 7. I think that's the only thing that could save him outside of them winning it all as a team with him in a minimized role. And even then, with how much he's getting paid, how can they not look to move him for a piece that would contribute more? But then the final point on the Golden State Warriors side is, again, you've got Steph Curry playing not poorly, but very average by average star standards, not only ever unanimous league MVP standards. He's barely reaching 25 points a game. He's always good for 4 to 6 turnovers easily. That's nothing new this series. His assist numbers usually aren't that great. He'll get 2 to 3 steals a game, but he'll get burnt on defense, taking chances for those steals as well. He just is not, for the second year in a row, he's not his team's most valuable player in the finals. Last year it was Andre Iguodala. And had Andre Iguodala not won it last year, it would have probably went to Klay Thompson or Draymond Green. Likely Klay Thompson. Same with this year. This year the leading candidate for the Warriors is Draymond Green. Your next option would be Klay Thompson. Not only is he not the MVP of his team in the second straight finals, he's not even the runner-up for his own team's MVP for the second straight year in the finals. And this is the back-to-back regular season most valuable player. Just because he's the most popular player right now, because he's the funnest player to watch, does not make him the most valuable player. Well, but his team's got the most wins. He's the best player on his team. And he's on the best team, so that makes him the most valuable player. This is why I hammer it into you over and over, time and time again. That is the dumbest, most shortcut to thinking approach to determining value that you can have as a sports fan. So, I don't know. It is what it is. No big surprise to me. But I feel the need to make sure that everybody's aware of this, because all you hear is the good stuff and the love, and the criticism for Steph, for whatever reason, it disappears because the team still comes out victorious, and so nobody cares and nobody rethinks, well, were we right in our original assessment of his value in the first place? Nobody wants to take that time and admit that maybe we were a little bit wrong and Scotty Ball was right as usual. So, predictions for the rest of series. How's it going to play out, Scotty Ball? Well, I do predict, as well as hope, it is wishful thinking, that the Cleveland Cavaliers will win Game 6 at home tonight in Cleveland and extend it to a Game 7. And hoping, I should say, that the Cavaliers can and do force a Game 7. That game will be in Golden State on Sunday night. Father's Day Eve night as well. So that'd be Sunday would have U.S. Open Finals, Game 7 NBA Finals, and WWE Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Holy guacamole. Like I said, that's what I'm most on fire about this week, is epically huge. Hoping the Cavaliers can do their part and make that happen by winning at home tonight against the Warriors, who, like I said, will have Draymond Green back, but they will not have Andrew Bogut for the remainder of the series, and hopefully that, along with home court, is enough to tip the scale in the Cavs' favor to send it to a Game 7. Alright, well, let's wrap up the basketball talk here with a little bit of T-Wolves off-season and draft preview, just a little bit for next week's upcoming draft. I will do the best I can to record next week's show before the draft happens so I can give you a, proper expert mocking of the NBA draft. But currently here in Minnesota, the big talkers are possible off-season moves. Everybody in our sports media here seems to want the T-Wolves to trade for Chicago Bulls swingman, two-guard, and small forward. You can play the 2 or the 3 position. Jimmy Butler, which, I got to tell you, I really don't know about that. I don't know how much that improves our team. he is a max contract guy, and he is the max contract guy for the Chicago Bulls, him and Derrick Rose.